Hey there, tic-tackers. Ready for a new Stair Tuesday? Today we're making it a bit hard for you to get scared, as we're sending a challenge your way, the startling Stairs game. It is a sinister ritual that has been in forums for some time, and we haven't told you yet about how dangerous it is, but lots of you have insisted, so here it is. However, we definitely do not recommend you to put it into practice, and if you do, please be very careful. For this game, you only need to meet a couple of simple requirements. You can do it at any time of the day, but for it to work better, it's best if you do it at night or with not a lot of light. We can't take with us any object or weapon to protect us, only a cloth or blindfold to cover our eyes so we can't see anything at all. That will keep us safe. And last but not least, obviously we will need a flight of steps. It doesn't really matter how many. To start the ritual, we have to stand in front of the lowest step and say these words aloud. I come before you today, Lucifer. Open the gates of your kingdom for me. You gotta say those words 6 times to be blessed and be able to trespass the threshold of the game. Then, you have to breathe deeply to gather all your strength, and then cover your eyes with a blindfold that keeps you from seeing anything at all around you. And then finally, we step forward and we start going upstairs. We'll count one by one the steps we take until we reach the end. This part is very important. We have to remember the number we've got. Then, we'll turn around and go back upstairs. All the steps, again counting one by one until we reach the end. And it's now that we are at a point of no return. If the number of steps we counted on our way down was the same as on our way up, we've done it wrong, and we'll have to try again, starting over from the first step. However, if we have counted one more step, we gotta get ready, because our trip to the underworld is actually starting. We'll go upstairs again, and it will be the same number of steps we counted in the beginning. But then, on our way down, we'll see the number of steps has increased again, and so it will keep increasing in the next descents. The chilling reality is that with every step, we're getting closer and closer to the underworld. We have to walk firmly and never look through the blindfold, whatever happens. We might also hear a noise around, like the cracking of walls, fire whispers, or objects falling down. But still, we have to be calm and we mustn't feel fear. The duration of the trip will depend on the kind of person we are and how many sins we've committed. Depending on the evil in our souls, it will be easier or harder for us to reach the underworld. The descent will get longer and longer, and we will start feeling it hot around us, as well as a strange and very unpleasant smell. We have to pay no attention to this and keep walking down. When we reach the bottom, suddenly we will hear a deep voice that will ask us, "What is it that you want?" A mysterious entity will appear in front of us to offer or to make anything we desire come true. In that precise moment, we have to stay calm, breathe deeply, and ask with no fear for what we want. Once this is done, we'll have to turn back and go upstairs until there's no more light, until we leave the underworld. Only then, and not earlier, we will take the blindfold off and we will breathe calm because the game is over. If you've done it right, whatever you've asked for will become true. But remember, you have to follow to the letter all these instructions and don't let yourself panic. If you don't do it right, if you fall or if you interrupt the ritual in the middle of it, you run the risk of getting trapped in the underworld forever.